For years, you gave your all. You built a home, raised a family, stitched dreams together for others while, silently folding your own into the corners of your soul. Now the house is quieter, the routines lighter, and you find yourself standing at the threshold of a life you never prepared for. One where you are, well, the main character. This book was born from that quiet ache, that inner voice whispering, "What now?" If you've ever felt invisible after your children have grown, if you've ever wondered whether your best years are behind you, if you've ever longed to be seen not as a role, but as a woman, this book is for you. She Rises Again is not just a title, it is a declaration, a promise. It is proof that your story is not over. It's entering a whole new chapter, one written by you, for you. Inside these pages, you'll find not only comfort but courage. You'll meet real women who reinvented themselves after 50, explore reflections to reconnect with your identity, and gather tools to rewrite your purpose with power and grace. This is your invitation to rise, with wisdom, wildness, and wonder. Because you were never just a mother. You are a soul in full bloom, and your second act is waiting. Go for it. With love and strength, Sushma Sangwan. Who am I now? It arrives like a whisper, often unspoken but honestly, deeply felt. After years of being mum, wife, caretaker, provider, the roles begin to fade, and with them, so does a part of identity that once felt complete. The children grow, they leave, and suddenly, a woman is left staring into the mirror, searching for the version of herself that existed before the world called her everything else. It's not sadness, exactly. It's not regret either. It's a soft ache, a space where identity once bloomed, now waiting for something new to take root. Who am I now is not a sign of weakness. It is the invitation to return home to yourself. This question is not the end. It's the beginning of the second act, an era of rediscovery, reinvention, and rising not for others, but for yourself. Because too many women quietly fade into the background once their role as a mother is complete. Because no one talks about the identity vacuum that follows after the kids are raised and the house falls silent. Because society claps for her when she gives everything, but forgets her when she asks, "What about me?" Because this chapter of life isn't an ending, it's an evolution. And because every woman deserves to be reminded, you are not done, you are just beginning. You are not disappearing. You are emerging. This is not the closing of your story. It's the awakening of your true self, the one who waited patiently behind duty, sacrifice, and silence. Motherhood was a beautiful chapter, yes, but it wasn't your only one. Now, you get to live for you, to dream, to create, to explore, to rediscover who you are when no one is calling you mum every 5 minutes. This is your time to rise, not in reaction to others' needs, but in honor of your own. Because the woman you're becoming now, she's not lost, she's reborn. When the children leave, the house doesn't just get quieter. It echoes, not just with silence, but with memories. The laughter that once filled the halls, the hurried mornings, the bedtime stories, the whispered goodnights. Now there's stillness, and in that stillness, an unfamiliar sound begins to grow. The echo of emptiness. It's not just about missing your children, it's about missing yourself. The version of you that once had a constant purpose, a daily rhythm, a reason to be needed. It's the feeling of folding laundry no one will wear, of cooking meals and setting fewer plates, of waking up and wondering, who am I serving today if not them? This echo is real, it's heavy, and it's not something we talk about enough. But it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you've poured your heart so fully into others that now it's time to pour some back into yourself, because every echo eventually fades, and in that quiet, a new voice begins to rise, yours. There's a lie the world quietly whispers to women after a certain age, that their best years are behind them, that dreams have deadlines, that purpose has an expiry date. But let me tell you something, with all the fire in my heart, you are not done. You've barely begun. Redefining purpose doesn't mean starting from scratch. It means looking at the life you've lived, the love you've given, the storms you've survived, and saying, now I choose for me. You're not too old to start a business. You're not too late to write a book. Travel the world, fall in love again, or learn something brand new. Your story is still unfolding, and the most powerful chapters are yet to be written. This is not your closing scene. It's your reintroduction to the world and to yourself. For years, you've answered to roles: mum, wife, daughter, provider. But somewhere in the giving, you got left behind. This chapter is about bringing you back into the center of your life. Not in guilt, not in rebellion, but in deep, deserving love. Rediscovering hobbies, passions, and desires. What lit you up before life got busy? Was it painting, singing, gardening, writing poetry, dancing in the rain? Your passions aren't lost. They're just dusted over with responsibility. Now is the time to reclaim your joy without waiting for permission. Creating space for self-love and care. Self-care isn't selfish, it's sacred. It's the act of telling your soul, I see you, I choose you now. Whether it's 10 minutes of silence, a long bath, or saying no without apology. Every small act of love you give yourself adds up to a life where you feel whole again. Journaling prompts to reconnect with yourself. Use these to gently begin that inner dialogue. What did I love doing as a child that still sparks joy today? What am I craving? Not from others, but from myself. Where in my life have I silenced my needs? Where can I begin to speak again? What makes me feel most alive, even in small moments? If no one judged me, what would I do differently today? This chapter is an invitation to return home, not to a place, but to yourself. Because you are not lost. You are waiting to be remembered. For years, you've worn labels like badges of honor: mum, wife, caregiver, homemaker. But you know, labels, while meaningful, can become limiting. They define what you do, not always who you are. This chapter is about shedding those labels, not with bitterness, but with bravery. It's about shifting the focus from who do they need me to be, to who do I want to become now. Motherhood was a beautiful journey, but it's not your entire identity. Now it's time to rediscover you, the woman who existed before the title and will exist long after. You're not abandoning the role, you're simply expanding beyond it. You are allowed to be more than just someone's someone. Without the chaos of motherhood's daily duties, there's now space, precious space, to dream again. Start small. A morning ritual that's just for you. A weekly walk with no agenda. A bold goal, writing a book, learning Spanish, traveling solo. This is your chance to set your own compass, to build a life you don't need to escape from. You've said yes to everyone else for years. Now say yes to rest, yes to adventure, yes to opportunities that make your soul light up. It's not selfish, it's survival, it's not indulgent, it's necessary. Because when you begin to say yes to yourself, you stop waiting to be chosen. You choose you. This chapter is a declaration. You are not a role, you are a whole, and the life ahead is yours to design, with color, courage, and your name at the center of it. There comes a moment after motherhood when a woman wonders, does anyone need me anymore? The answer is a resounding yes. But now, you are needed not just for your hands, but for your heart, your wisdom, your story. You are still needed. Not as a caretaker, but as a catalyst. Not to serve, but to spark something in others. You've lived, you've learned. You've fallen and risen more times than anyone knows. That's not just experience, it's expertise. Now is your time to become the voice someone else needs. Mentor a younger woman trying to find her way. Guide new mothers who feel lost like you once did. Create content, stories, art, or courses that light a path for others. You don't need a stage to lead. Your presence, your story, your truth, that's leadership. You don't have to go back to an office to feel purposeful. Sometimes, purpose shows up in the classroom you never imagined you'd enter, or in the hearts of people you serve without a title. You can volunteer with children, the elderly, or women in need. Teach a skill you know well, from cooking to compassion. Start a small coaching practice. Or finally, launch that side hustle you kept putting off for someday. Guess what? Someday is now. Everything you've been through was not random. The heartbreak, the healing, the years of giving, none of it was wasted. Now it's your legacy toolkit. What you've learned can change lives, even if it's just one. Whether you choose to create, teach, serve, or simply be there for others, your impact doesn't diminish with age. It intensifies, because it's rooted in something real. This chapter is a call to arms for the woman who thinks her role is over. Darling, your next role is not about being needed. It's about being unforgettable. Remember, your journey is your power. You are not too late and you are not done. This is your time to rise, to lead, and to shine. Some wounds don't bleed, they don't show up on skin. They live quietly inside, hidden beneath daily smiles, behind perfectly made beds and lovingly packed tiffins that are no longer needed. These are the wounds of feeling unseen, unheard, and sometimes unimportant. After the children have grown and moved on, after the house no longer echoes with chaos, many women begin to feel the ache of something they can't quite name. This chapter is here to tell you, you are not alone. And more importantly, you are not invisible. You might not hear thank you as often. Your phone might not ring like it used to. The days might feel longer and you might wonder, does anyone notice me anymore? This isn't selfish, it's human. You gave years, maybe decades, of your soul to raising others. And now, in the quiet, your own voice feels unfamiliar. But being left behind is an illusion. You are not behind. You are exactly where your next beginning starts. Remember, this season is not a punishment. It's a pause, a sacred pause, to shift the light back onto yourself. Many women carry the heavy bag of what-ifs. Did I do enough as a mother? Did I lose my chance to chase my own dreams? Was it wrong to give so much? Let's release this right here. Guilt is not proof of love. Fear is not protection. Regret is not your truth. It's a shadow, a distorted view of your beautiful reality. You did what you could with the heart and tools you had. Now, let it be enough. Let go, not to forget the past, but to forgive it. To give your soul room to rise again. Speak these softly, speak them boldly, whisper them until they feel like truth, because they are. I am more than the roles I played. I am the woman who gave them meaning. I release guilt, I release regret, I welcome peace. I am worthy of love, even when I'm not needed. My presence is powerful. My story is not over. I choose to see myself. I choose to love myself. I choose to rise. Even in stillness, I matter. I'm never behind. I am just becoming. I have the right to joy, to space, and to rediscover who I am. Say these daily. Write them on mirrors. Set them as reminders. Because healing isn't about forgetting what hurt. It's about remembering who you are beneath the hurt. This chapter isn't about fixing you, because you are not broken. It's about softening the edges that life hardened. It's about giving love back to the woman who gave it so freely to others. Your silent wounds deserve soft hands. Your heart deserves kindness. From you first. And remember, you don't need to be seen by others to be valuable. The moment you see yourself, really see yourself, the healing begins. This chapter is, well, for the pain you never shared, the tears you swallowed, and those moments when you felt like the world just moved on without you. After dedicating years to family, so many women quietly begin to feel unseen, almost as if their value diminished once the children grew up or the spotlight shifted. You start questioning, do I even matter now? And is there anything left for me to do? And let me tell you, these feelings are valid. Society often glorifies productivity and youth, but it really does fail to honor the wisdom and presence of a woman who has lived, sacrificed, and nurtured. But hear this, you are not behind. You are evolving. Your worth isn't tied to visibility. It's rooted in your very existence. This section, well, it helps you recognize these emotions, name them, and begin releasing the shame around them. Now let's talk about letting go of guilt, fear, or regret. Guilt for wanting more, fear of starting late, regret over things not done. These feelings can weigh you down like emotional armor, protecting you, yes, but also limiting you. In this part, you'll learn how to forgive yourself for past decisions, how to stop replaying those what-ifs, and how to give yourself permission to dream again without judgment. You'll come to realize healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing yourself to move forward with compassion and clarity. Here we introduce power-charged affirmations, words that rebuild you from within. I release the need to explain my worth. I am enough as I am. I am not invisible. I am rising quietly with grace and power. My past was purposeful, my present is powerful, and my future is mine to create. I forgive myself. I choose peace over perfection. Every day, I return to myself with love, pride, and presence. Because this is where you truly begin to heal. Not just survive, but thrive. It's where your quiet ache turns into quiet power. There comes a time when the question is no longer who was I? It becomes, who do I want to become next? This chapter is a celebration of your rebirth. You're not starting over. You're starting wiser, freer, and more fierce than ever before. You have stories, skills, and scars that the world can learn from. You've spent years building a home, raising others, and holding everything together. Now it's time to build something of your own. Whether it's a small home business, a passion blog, a podcast where you speak your truth, or a YouTube channel sharing your skills, this is your stage now. This section will help you identify what lights you up inside. Turn a passion into a project or income stream. Get past the I'm too old or I don't know enough voice and replace it with why not me. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be brave enough to begin. Your curiosity didn't die with your responsibilities. It just waited for you to breathe again. Whether it's learning a new language, taking a solo trip, joining a writing class, or getting that degree you once sacrificed. This is the time to invest in your own expansion. This part helps you discover learning paths that excite you, overcome the fear of starting late, reclaim the part of you that was always hungry to grow, but always came second. She's always been there. The one who faced life's mess and kept showing up. The one who held back her fire for others' comfort. Now, she's done apologizing. This section is all about owning your confidence unapologetically. Walking into rooms with your head high, not because of your status, but your soul. Redefining what beautiful, powerful, and worthy mean for you, not society. This is your call to step into your next chapter like a queen who knows she's the author.